So I was really shocked to hear lately that apparently only 16% of UK parents go to any type of antenatal class. I've done NCT the first time round that I had a baby, and here's just what to expect from like an NCT class so you can decide if it's worth the investment. And I've also just done NCT Refresher because we're having our third baby. So here's what to expect, and you can decide yourself if you think it's worth the cash. So NCT stands for National Childcare Trust, and they are a charity. They're in the UK, and you'll need to spend, I don't know, I guess it varies depending on where you live. I live in London, and it's around £120, £130 to do an NCT course. What happens at an NCT course is NCT course. What happens is it is in your local area, so you'll sign up online, just Google NCT courses in your area, pop in your due date, and they will get together a group of parents, mums and dads, who are all due and live in your area within, I'd say, like 6 weeks to 2 months of each other. So what's brilliant is it happens in your local area somewhere, so normally either in like a local hall or even in an NCT teacher's house. And you'll gather together, and it's your chance to kind of talk about all sorts of things. They'll have topics laid out for you from everything from kind of pregnancy, labour, early days with a newborn. And if you do NCT Refresher like I just did, I'll talk about that a bit at the end, it's things like dealing with sibling rivalry and all that kind of good stuff as well. So it's really valuable. I've loved it both times. Mainly, there are some good key points about it. It's, a lot of people say it's buying friendships, and yeah, it is. Like that NCT group, you often hear about people who are NCT friends for life. Like, where did you ever meet each other? Oh, back at NCT when we were having our babies. And we did meet a couple who we are now such good friends with, and we've been on holiday with them, and we see them all the time, and we just clicked with them. Their baby was born a few weeks after ours. And then there was the wider group who we were kind of really good friends with, I'd say, for about a year. The mums would meet up. And in those early days, just having people, they were literally at the end of the phone. So if it was like, I don't know, is this normal? Has yours started teething yet? All those kind of milestones. It was just a group of people who were literally on hand and there for advice. And I really missed that second time around, which is why I chose to do NCT Refresher this time, to get another group of those local mum friends who you can just hang out at each other's houses, because being a mum is bloody lonely and difficult, and having that support network, you know, and you basically are paying a lot for that. But it's loads more than just that little local meetup, because you can do that at other playgroups and stuff like that. It's all about giving you the information so you can make informed choices, and it should be like that. They shouldn't be pushy. They shouldn't be pushing one way or another way on you. They shouldn't be on the side of kind of really natural childcare. I think that they get a bit of a bad rep about being quite into the whole natural and breastfeeding way. And if that's not your style, it can put you off. But it's not just for that. You can talk to them about pain relief options and everything, and bottle feeding. It should be a really inclusive group. So they go through all of the pain relief and type of labour options you can get, and you can practice things like massage. So I remember they got my husband, taught him some massage techniques. We talked about things like, it made me really decide I wanted a water birth, because we watched a video of a water birth, and that really was, then I was like, wow, I definitely want to try that, and I've done that both times. And I didn't know anything, going in there. I didn't really understand what an epidural was. They talked about the pros and cons of each type of pain relief. So things like, they talked about pethidine is something you'll get offered in hospital, but it can send you a little bit high, a bit out of world, out of body experience. So if that's not for you, put on your birth plan that you don't want that. And I found that really helpful, because that's not really for me. Other mums absolutely loved it. I wanted the natural water birth. Other mums wanted the epidural, and to hear all the pros and cons, so that when you're in that moment of labour, you've got all that informed choices, and you can give out what you want and what you don't want. So definitely worth it for that. The other great thing about it is, after you've had the baby, there'll be a series of kind of get-togethers that they'll organise for you and your NCT group mums, and also lots of volunteering opportunities. They have things like nearly new sales in your local area. So if you're a member of the NCT, you can get involved either volunteering and bring all your stuff and give stuff away and meet other mums that way, and just be part of your local community, or just to go along to, you can go to those sales, and they're brilliant. I actually, first time round, volunteered for the NCT magazine. So if you've got like a skill that, I mean, not that I'm a skilled magazine journalist or anything, but I work in advertising, and I wanted to kind of do something while I was off on maternity and kind of keep active and kind of do things that would use my brain a little bit. So I was the deputy editor of our NCT magazine for our local area, which just meant that I kind of helped with news stories. I did some writing, pictures, and stuff like that. And it was just something that I really enjoyed doing. So there's tons of ways of getting involved and using your skill set with the NCT, and it's still something to do with your baby. They're all mums. You can pop it on your CV as something you've been doing while you've been out of the workplace. So yeah, tons and tons of benefits, I think. I mean, I'm not being sponsored by the NCT to say this, but I just think the main things for me is really learning about that pain relief and what to do in those moments, because I tell you, like, once I had a baby, the idea of making a decision suddenly was just like beyond me, and I'm a really like decisive person. So having all that knowledge beforehand was super duper useful. So NCT Refresher, I will say very quickly, I just did it a couple of weeks ago. You do NCT in your kind of third trimester, third baby. We were the only ones having our third, everyone else was having their second, but met another bunch of women who've got toddlers like me and who are going through newborn like me. I loved all the women in our group. We're already arranged to get together. The dads are involved. The dads will meet each other, which I think is really nice, just to get the dads engaged with it. And this time we talked about things like sibling rivalry. We talked about our first labour experiences and what we think might happen second time round, because there's sort of more anxiety, I guess, because you've done it once and you're kind of a bit like, is this going to happen to me again? Like, I know I go really, really quickly. So I could ask her, what are my techniques for kind of slowing myself down, which, by the way, lying flat on your back until the cavalry arrive. So just things like that, just very practical advice again, but more focused around introducing to children. We spent a lot of time talking about that and techniques. So that was really, really valuable. My little baby is kicking away, telling me to shut up, mum. So anyway, what are your experiences? Did you do antenatal classes at your local hospital? Did you pay for NCT? Are you thinking about it? And have you got any more questions? Let me know. You can pop it in the comments below. And do subscribe. Baby is due on Christmas Eve. A subscribe would mean a lot to me. It just means that you're following me. Nothing to pay or anything like that. It just means when you log onto YouTube, you'll see a little notification from me. Have a brilliant week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.